Yeah. Okay, so if you watched last week's video with my current guitar collection, you'd have seen this relict Stratocaster. So I bought this in a job lot of guitars, and it's got a Mexican Fender neck, which has been aged and relict and looks pretty sweet. And the body apparently is off a Squier, but we don't know what it's from, what spec or what year, anything like that. It's got the full thickness body, so I'm guessing it could be anything from a 80s Japanese or Korean Squier, possibly a 90s Korean Squier, or even up to early 2000s Squier standard Strat. So yeah, really not sure, could be anything. It's got a nice weight to it. It's not the plywood body, so we can roll out that, but yeah, just interested to see what's under the pick guard, what's been done with these pots, if anything's been replaced, if these are just stock pickups. It does sound pretty decent. At the minute the setup is horrendous, so I won't even attempt playing it now. These saddles all over the place. I'll show you, the bridge has been dropped, but it's still sticking out just at the front there, and the action is probably as low as it will go. So yeah, it's going to need a bit of tweaking. I think it may even need some work doing on the neck, the neck pocket. This, let's say this was a Mexican neck, it may just be too thick for this guitar, so I may not put it back together again, and we'll see what it's like underneath and see if we can get it to play. But yeah, I don't really want to be chopping up this neck, and I don't really want to be digging any of that neck pocket out, so we could be taking this apart for parts and using them for future projects. So on the back of the neck, it's a, see from the serial, MN, that's Mexico, and a 98. So it's made in Mexico, 1998. And so that's some nice relicing done to the back of the neck there. The back of the guitar body is glossy, the front is matte finish. I personally prefer this to be matte as well, so that's something we can do, which is pretty easy. I'm also going to take this cover off, see what size block we got in there. But yeah, so definitely a genuine Partscaster. So let's get taking it apart. So let's move the strings out of the way. These are pretty new, so I don't really want to be wasting these. First thing I've noticed, this nut has been changed and the strings are really low down in it, so that's something else we may have to look at later down the line, but we'll see what we got to work with for now. At the moment it's more about just seeing what's under the pick guard. So let's move them out of the way. Okay, moment of truth. Right, so here, looks like all original wiring. So we've got some 500k pots, which are the full size ones, ceramic pickups, pretty decent looking 5-way selector switch. There's a nice feel to it, but yeah, totally stuck under there. Got the swimming pool routing, no shielding. Yeah, I'll say that's probably an older body, basswood maybe. These look like the sort of Chinese style pots, so yeah, still none the wiser, really thin wiring. Now I'd probably probably say with these pots that it's a Chinese one, so I'll probably hazard a guess to say late 90s. It's not a Squier standard because the pole pieces are usually staggered. Here we go. So something we can work with there. We've got some decent pots, 500k. I'd probably want to go with 250s on them, but we could use them for something else with humbuckers maybe later down the line, but we'll see. Let me get this pick guard back on. We'll flip it over and have a look at the block on the other side. Okay, so we've got a full thickness block under there. I wouldn't say it's a Mexican one, just an aftermarket job. It's got like a paint coating on it, where the Mexican ones are normally just bare steel or aluminium, whatever they use, but this is coated. So yeah, I'll probably go with Chinese, mid to late 90s. It could be a 90s Korean model. The Chinese ones usually do have a serial number along there on this sort of era, late 90s, but you know, this could have been changed at some point. But with the pots that they've used and the look of these neck bolts, I'm pretty sure they're Chinese. Yeah, Chinese ones always seem to have heftier pots and heftier neck screws. So yeah, I'll stick with Chinese. I'll say Chinese. So let's actually take this neck off. Might reveal some more clues. Who knows? Yeah, so it's got a big neck shim on there. Maybe we should take that shim out and see what it's like without the shim. A lot of the late Chinese ones did have 22 frets. You can see the mark in there, but there's nothing to say inside what it is. I think we'll put this back on and try it without the shim and see how we do for getting this to play a bit better. Definitely a big shim. That's a hefty bit of plastic. So I've just taken the springs out the back of the tremolo. I just want to have a look under this tremolo because it looked like it was sticking up at the front and it won't go flat to the actual tremolo bridge, won't go flat to the body, so I want to see what's under it. It's like there's something holding it up. Yeah, there's a big chunk of paint there that was underneath from that end. It was sticking up. So this really has been messed around with somebody who don't really know what they're doing. There you go. That's better. Flat to the body. Right. So I'm just going to screw that back down. One thing I will say when you're putting these tremolos in, there's a little groove just under this side that's angled up, and so when you screw it in you don't want it sticking up like that. So what I tend to do is put screws in either end and then just get them enough so they screw in but it doesn't lift the back end of that tremolo plate up, if that makes sense. Just enough just so it holds in place. See there, it starts to lift, so I'll back it off a little bit. There we go. And then put the middle screws in, sort of the same principle, to make sure that back don't lift. Right, so I think we're going to have to stop it there for today. I was just going to set this guitar up, but I've come across a problem that the grub screws on the saddles are not your standard Fender size. They're a lot smaller, and yeah, that's the smallest I've got and it's too big, so yeah, I can't raise the action. But yeah, well, I've dropped the neck, taken that pathetically big shim out and dropped the tremolo to where it should be. It seems to all sit much better now, but obviously I just need to raise the action on these saddles. But yeah, I'll come back to it at some point when I get another size one of them, and we'll see what else we can do with this Strat. It's going to need a new nut at some point. This has been replaced and it's just not the best fitting. But yeah, we're getting there. It's definitely going to be able to play with this neck on this body as it should. So that'll wrap it up for today. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Yeah, I think we've sort of deciphered that it's a mid to late 90s Chinese Squier Strat, full size pots, 500k. So I don't know, we'll come back to this at some point, maybe do something else with it, maybe get it set up and then try a few different things with the pickguard and whatever. But yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, make sure you got all the notifications set to all, and that'll do for today. So thanks for watching, see you all soon, peace.